Hello, students. Hello, students. Good afternoon to all of you. I hope you will be fine at home. Welcome you all to in this lecture. That is of power system instrumentation, code as per our university curriculum. That is WE311, and unit is basically the running unit is unit number 3, and the topic is signal condition. In this signal condition, we have in the topic is function generators. So, as per my previous lectures series of lectures, basically I told you one thing that power system instrumentation is a very important subject in power system, and this instrumentation is basically deals with the measurement. Measurement means we want to measure the voltage, current, power, frequency, whatever which relates to electrical system, that is power system. Okay, so we have to measure all these things. So I need an instrument. If I want to measure voltage, I need a voltmeter. If I want to measure the resistance, I need an ohm meter. If I want to measure the power, I need wattmeter. If I want to measure the energy, I need watt hour meter. So if I want different measuring instruments, my dear student, though for this I need instrument. Why I need instrument? Because I want to measure, though directly I can't able. We have not option in our body that it can directly give you that how much volt. If you touch and you will directly calculate it is 240 volt. You can't able to do it, and don't try to do it, because if you try to touch the wire, naked wire, you will get a shock. So you can't do this thing. You have to not do this thing, my dear student. So if you want to measure it, though, you need an instrument. You need what? You need an instrument, that is voltmeter for voltage, ammeter for current, and whatever meter for energy, and watt meter for power. Ohm meter is for the measurement of impedance or resistance, we can say. So these all are basically the instruments. And if I'm talking about the instrument, my dear student, so it comes in the category of instrumentation. How we can use these instruments, in which manner we can use this instrument for the measuring purpose in power system. So the whole power system instrumentation basically deals with this. Now, as per the unit number 1, we have studied about the types of error in instrument. Because if I am telling you about the instrument, so if human make mistakes, because human is not a god, so we can say a human mistake. So human make mistakes, made mistakes, do some errors. Basically we have some errors in ourselves because we having some anger. Okay, some more things that comes in the basically error side. So these errors basically take place in the machines also. So that is the instrument. So the instrument and errors, we can say gross error, environmental error. Okay, so many errors we have. So these error basically deals in the unit number 1. We basically studied about this thing, and how can we calculate if we having so many readings. So we have to take mean of it, average of it, and then we have to take standard average, means standard deviation. Means average is there, now we are getting value near to average, not the average, then we have to take deviations. So we have to take the standard deviation. We have to calculate the variance in a curve, Gaussian curve form. So these all are basically the what? These all are the your things. Things means we can say these all are basically the we can say the errors. How can we calculate the errors? We can say. So this comes basically we have studied these all in the errors. Now the second unit is deals with the transducer. These are the main important part, because if I want to measure something, so I have to convert as per my desired level. Means I am getting the analog signal, I have to convert into digital signal. Now I have getting the input in the mechanical form. Now we want to measure into the electrical form. So I need a converging media. So that is the transducer, having two things: sensing element and then transduction element. So sensing element are the sensors, and transduction having so many: inductive, capacitive, okay, photovoltaic, piezoelectric, so many photoconductive, so many operation we have. In this we have studied LVDT, RVDT, RTD, thermocouple, strain gauge, Okay, these all are basically the transducer type, and these transducer play important role in the instrumentation. Because if I am talking about the power system instrumentation, so we know that we having electrical components, but we having some electronic components also, and we deals with the frequency ranges. The frequency ranges basically the audio frequency ranges, some few kilohertz to some we can say some megahertz. So we have to deal with that instruments also. We have to deal with that components. We have to deal with that conditions. So we need instruments. So in the unit number 3, that is the signal conditioning. So in this we having a transducer because we have to convert it. Then we having different things. So first we have studied about the instrumentation amplifier. So in instrumentation amplifier we have what? We have what, my dear student? We have basically the combination of op amps. Op amps are operational amplifiers. An operational amplifier is basically the IC form, and IC is called as 741, 6-pin IC 741. And in op amp we can do addition, we can do difference of it, we can do multiplication, we can do division, we can do logarithmic, we can do integration, we can do differentiation. So integrator, differentiator, logarithmic, adder, subtractor, so divider, all these things we can do with the help of op amp. So we use, if I am talking about always amplifier, so I am using what? I am using op amp, that is operational. So first is the instrumentation amplifier. Next, we talked about what? What, my dear student? Isolation amplifiers. Isolate. In instrumental, we having difference. Two, three op amps we have. Two op amps basically give the output that differentiate with the third op amp, that is differential amplifier. Then in isolation amplifier, we have to isolate the. If I want to measure something, and we directly connect with the body of the patient, so isolation of electrical will be there. No shock will take place on the body, in the body of the patient. So electrical isolation, and no leakage current flow to the instrument. Then we have studied about the analog multiplier and divider previously. Analog multiplier and divider, which basically do what? Convert, just like your modulation. It basically, local oscillator is there, which basically gives Gilbert mathematics we use. Mixer is there, Gilbert mixer we use, and with the help of these mixer, we basically divide or add, basically divide or multiply the input and give output to the desired. So that is the analog multiplier and divider. Now, if I'm talking about today's lecture, that was my revision part. Now, that is the basically thing which I want to deliver you today. That is what? Function generator. Now, if I'm talking about function generators, my dear student, though I'm delivering you this lecture, though there will be some objective. What is my objective? First is help the learner, means you, means student, to understand the basics of function generator. What is function generator? How it works? As per the name suggested, function generator, a function, uh, 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 basically instrument which basically gives you the output, which gives you the function for you, which gives you output in a form of function, we can say. So function generated. Understand the working and principle of function, how it works, and the principle, we can say. If there is no principle, then how it working? So we are going to study all these things. This is the objective of this lecture. Now, taking one by one, introduction. Now see, functional generators always look like this. And I know you have studied in the laboratory, you have seen this function generator in the laboratories. It is basically connected with the CR, say cathode ray oscilloscope. Okay, so a function generator is what? A function generator is usually a piece of electronic test equipment. What is it? Is a piece. I am using what? So many things are there in electronic test equipment. So it is a simply piece. It gives, it playing a part, or it playing a role of part. Part means four things cover up the whole thing. Four part. So one part is this one. For example, if I have to complete a test, in test I need four pieces, or we can say four elements. So in that element pieces, this is the one piece, we can say. So a function generator is usually a piece of electronic test equipment, software or software used to generate different types of electrical waveforms. Equipment or software used to generate different types of electrical waveforms. It generates different types of electrical waveforms over a wide range of frequency. Over what? A wide range of frequency. So we can simply say that it is a part of a group. We can say if four part in a group we are consisting four parts. So that is the one part which do what? Generate different types of electrical waveforms. Generate what? Different types of electrical waveforms over a wide range of frequency. Which frequency you want? 10 hertz, 20 hertz, kilohertz, megahertz. Okay. Generally in the laboratory we use 20 kilohertz or 30 kilohertz or megahertz also. We use this type of. Okay. So it generate different types of electrical waveform. That is generator and waveform we are using as a function. Okay. So electrical waveform over a wide range of frequency. Over what? A wide range. It is basically machine shown like this. It is just like this structure. With this we can adjust the waveform here, and here so many frequencies labeled in decibels given to you in a waveform type, the triangular, square, sawtooth, sine. Which type of wave you want, you can push that button, you'll find that type of wave. Means that function will generate it, and you can view into the CR, cathode ray oscilloscope, how we are getting this wave. Okay, so do what? Generate used, or we can say use equipment or software used to generate different types of electrical waveforms over a wide range of frequency. So frequency range are wide basically. Now, other important feature of the function generator are continuous tuning. Are what? Continuous tuning over wide bands, over wide frequency bands, with maximum and minimum frequency ratios of 10:1. Maximum is 10, minimum is 1. So for example, if I'm talking about 50 hertz, so we can do 500 hertz, 10:1, we can say, with maximum minimum frequency ratios of 10:1 or more than which range you want. A wide range of frequency from a few hertz to few megahertz. As I earlier told you, a wide range of frequency from some, or we can say few hertz to few megahertz. Hertz, for example, 5 hertz to 5 megahertz, we can say. A flat output amplitude and modulation capabilities like frequency sweeping, frequency modulation, and amplitude modulation. So through this we can do what? Frequency sweeping, frequency modulation. You know about the modulation, that is called as FM in short form, and AM. AM is amplitude modulation. So we'll give you the what? First is generate the electrical waveform as per the desired range of frequency, part of electronic test, piece of electronic test. I show you the diagram before. And another important feature is what? Continuous tuning. Or what? Basically, what is the other important feature? Is continuous tuning over as a features, we can say. So we use our continuous tuning over wide bands, wide frequency band, with maximum frequency 10:1 ratio or more. 50:1 we can say, 50:5 we can say, 20:2, 20:1, 25:5 we can say. A wide range of frequencies, 50 to 5 megahertz, 5 hertz to 50 megahertz we can say. Okay, from a few hertz to 2 megahertz, you can say 9 hertz to the 9 megahertz. A flat output amplitude and modulation capability is also there, like frequency sweeping, frequency modulation, and amplitude modulation. Okay, now, although function generators cover both audio and radio frequencies, means ranges. If I'm talking about audio frequency and radio frequency ranges, so both cover in the generator. This function generator cover both audio and radio frequencies. Audio frequency also covers and radio frequency also covers. Okay, they are usually not suitable for application that need low distortion. That need what? Low distortion or stable frequency signals. That need low distortion or stable frequency signals. Stable frequency. This is not suitable. Okay. When those traits are required, other signal generator would be more appropriate. Signal generator. If we having some things happen In this, we found this something will happen, take place. So for this, we use another signal generators. Which type of generator we have to use? Signal generator. So usually a piece of electronic test equipment or software used to generate different types of electrical waveforms over a wide range of frequencies. Other important feature, continuous tuning we have. Maximum ratio will be 10:1 or more than, so few hertz to few megahertz. Modulation capabilities we have like frequency swapping, frequency modulation, amplitude modulation, and other RF and AF means audio frequency and radio frequency, but not suitable for that need low distortion or stable frequencies. Need low distortion means no distortion, low distortion will be there, and stable frequency center. Then we have to use signal generators. Okay, now some function generators can be phase locked to an external signal source. So some, we can say the function generators can be phase locked. We can say what? Phase. We lock the phase to an external signal source. To which type of source? External signal source, which may be frequency reference or another function generator. Maybe which type? Frequency reference or another function generator. Okay, we can say the which type? The phase lock. Now, a function generators are used in the development, test and repair of electronic equipment. We use where we use from the previous, I told you this function generator is basically piece of electronic test. So it gives you the waveform, different waveform with different frequency. So function generator is used in the development, test and repair of electronic equipment. Something we are developing, there we can use it. We are testing, then we can use it, and repairing of electronic equipment, then we can use this function generator. For example, they may be used as a signal source to test amplifiers. They may be used as a signal source to test amplifiers. A signal source to what? Test amplifiers. Or to introduce an error signals into a control. Or to introduce an error signal into a control. So this is the features. Now, function generator used to generate various kind of waveform like triangular wave, sine wave, and square wave. So as I earlier told you, my dear student, it is very useful to generate the various kind of waveform, electrical waveform, that is like triangular, sine, square, sawtooth, etc. Important wave are basically triangular, sine, and square. Sawtooth, we are not used anywhere in the electronic components, the sawtooth, but it can generate. It can be generated by the function generator. So triangular wave is very good, sine wave we use, and square wave. Now what is function generator? Function generator is to generate electrical waveforms at different frequency level. It also serves what? The ratio, good ratio, or over wide ranges. 50:1 we can say, or 10:1, some few hertz, that is maybe the 9 hertz to 9 megahertz. So we can use this function generator. Okay, and the phase lock. But if I am low distortion, or we can say stable frequency, then we can't use it, and we have to use the signal generator. But we can generate different frequencies, okay, at various wide range. So we can use this function generator in frequency sweeping, frequency modulation, and amplitude modulation. Okay, now if phase locked is there, then we have to use another function generator to overcome or cope up with this. Now, frequency generator used to generate various kind of waveform like triangular waveform, sine wave, and square wave, and sawtooth wave, etc. Now I'm taking one by one. That is triangle wave. Which wave? Triangular or triangle wave. Simple function generator usually generate triangular waveform whose frequency can be controlled smoothly as well as in steps. Now, simple, we can say simple frequency range, or we can say the simple function generator, small function generator, usually generate triangular waveform. The first waveform it generate triangular waveform whose frequency can be controlled. What we can do? Whose frequency can be controlled smoothly as well as in steps, one by one, as well in steps. The triangular wave is used as the basis for all of its other outputs. The triangular wave is used as the basis for all of its other outputs. Other outputs. The triangular wave is generated by repeatedly charging and discharging. How can we generate it? Repeat it means in a repeat, we can say in a repeat manner, charging and discharging a capacitor from a constant current source. From a what? From a constant current source, charging and discharging a capacitor. Discharging a discharging and charging a capacitor from constant current source. Okay, so it generates triangular waveform whose frequency can be controlled smoothly as well as in steps, smooth or in steps, and this wave is used as a basis for all its other outputs. All its other outputs. The triangular wave is generated by repeatedly charging and discharging. Now, how can we generate this type of wave, my dear student? If I'm talking about the triangular wave, so how can we generate it? We can generate with the help of capacitor through its charging and discharging from a constant current source. From a which source? Constant current source. This produces a linearly ascending or descending voltage ramp. This produces a linearly ascending or descending voltage ramp. Which type of ramp? Linearly ascending or descending voltage ramp. As the output voltage reaches upper and lower limits, the charging and discharging will reverse using a comparator. As the output voltage reaches upper and lower limits, the charging and discharging is reversed using a comparator. Comparator is word come from compare. So comparator basically compare the two inputs, okay, in a phase or amplitude manner. So reverse using a comparator and produce the linear triangle. Producing what? A linear triangle wave. Okay, I hope you understand. Now, triangular wave we can easily generate it by a function generator, small function generator, smooth way or step by step. What we use a capacitor. We can say in a repeat we can charging or discharge or discharge that capacitor from constant current source, and this produce linear ascending or descending voltage ramps, ascending or descending voltage ramps as the output voltage reaches upper and lower limits. Output voltage reaches upper and then lower, ascending descending we can get from it. The charging and discharging is reversed using a comparator. Charging of capacitor and discharging of that capacitor using comparator, that compare it, producing linear triangle. What produce? Linear triangle. So by varying the current and size of capacitor, different frequency may be obtained. By basically varying the current and size of the capacitor. By varying what? Current and size of the capacitor, different frequency may be obtained. Different frequency may be obtained by this one. Now, see here. Integrator circuit to produce a triangle wave. Now here, integrator, you know what is integrator? Means op-amp I am using. Now one input is R and we are connecting the capacitor with the output, and this is the operational amplifier with positive sign, with positive input is grounded, and we are giving the negative V, and that is capacitor voltage and V out. With the help of this integrator, we can produce a triangle amplifier. Which waveform, my dear student? The triangle waveform through this. So I hope you understand. I hope you understand that how it produce. It produced with the help of this triangle wave. So integrator circuit to produce the triangle wave, it is shown here. R is connected, that is resistance. This is the operational amplifier. We having the capacitor, means integrator. You all know about the integrator, so that is the integrator. Now, in this circuit, capacitor is used as a feedback element. In this, that what I am using a circuit capacitor is used as a feedback element. Which element? Feedback, which giving you the feedback. So I am using circuit capacitor as a feedback element. So I hope you understand. Now the circuit connection is shown in figure like this. That is your integrator. Just see it. You basically found this integrator in the op-amp topic, that is operational amplifier. Okay, shown in figure. Now moving forward, as before, the negative feedback of op-amp ensures. As before, the negative feedback of op-amp ensures, operational amplifier ensures that inverting input will be held at 0 volts. That inverting input, that is the inverting, the reversing input, will be held at which volt? 0 volts. That is virtually ground. That is what? Virtually ground. Okay. if this input voltage is exactly 0 volts, if this input voltage, or we can say if the input voltage is exactly 0 volts, there will be no current. There will be not widest rule. What happens? No current through the resistor. There will be no current through the resistor. Therefore, no charging of the capacitor. Electricity is there, no current is flowing through the resistor, means no charging of the capacitor, and therefore output voltage will not be changed. Will be not changed or will not be changed because no current is flowing through the resistor and no charging or capacitor take place. So therefore, output voltage will not be changed. We cannot guarantee that what voltage will be at output. We cannot guarantee. Why? If current is not flowing, capacitor charging is not take place, then what will happen? So what voltage will be at output with respect to ground in this condition? But we can say that output voltage is constant. If changing we are not able to find it, so what we can say? We can say that output voltage is constant. If it is not changing, or in how much manner it is changing, what will the value, what will the voltage value, I am not understanding, means you are not getting the value. So what we can say? It is constant. Okay. Now if we apply a constant positive voltage to the input, if we apply which voltage? Constant positive voltage to the input, the op-amp output will not fall negative. The op-amp, the operational amplifier output will not fall negative at a linear rate. Which rate? At a linear rate. In attempt to produce the changing voltage across, an attempt to produce a changing voltage across the capacitor, necessary to maintain the current, necessary to what? Maintain the current established by the voltage difference across the resistor. Voltage difference across the resistor. A constant negative voltage at the input result in lean. A constant negative voltage at the input result in what? Linear. Rising voltage at the output. It is in the linear, but the rising voltage at the output. Voltage is rising, increasing at the output side, output end. Now, the output voltage rate of change will be proportional to the value of input voltage. Obviously, if I am getting the output voltage, it is basically proportional to the value of what? Input. So, it is changed, the output will change. So, I hope you understand this thing. Now, see here. In CRO, we can find the triangular. This like this. A triangle wave or a triangular wave. Okay. If I are applying this thing in this circuit, so it is a feedback amplifier. If I am giving the negative, then we are getting some, getting nothing in the output. That is, we can say the voltage is constant. If I am giving the positive voltage to the input, the op-amp output will not fall negative at the linear rate. It attempt to produce a changing voltage across the capacitor. So discharge, charge, discharge, charge. So charging, then discharge, charging, then discharge, means charging, discharge, charging, discharge. So you'll get what? The triangle like this. See this. This type of wave you can find in the CRO. CRO is what? Cathode ray oscilloscope. What is CRO, my dear student? CRO is what? Cathode ray oscilloscope. So I hope you understand the CRO thing. The purpose of CRO, why we use the CRO? CRO we use for the basically view the signals. In the waveform, we basically see the signals. So we use CRO. So this is the output of CRO. We are getting the triangular wave of this diagram. Okay? That is the wave. Okay, I hope you understand. Now moving forward, function generator. This is the block diagram of function generator. What is it, my dear student? This is the block diagram of function generator. Block diagram of what? Function generator. So in this function generator, what is it here? External frequency control. Here it is, frequency control. Now, if I'm talking about frequency control here, the frequency control network. We can control frequency. Then we are having the constant current supply source. 1 and 2. Constant current supply source 1 and 2. That is integrator, means op-amp, operational, with a capacitor. Again, we are having the voltage comparator multi-vibrator, comparator with multi-vibrator. Then we are having a switch with output amplifier. We give you the output in a triangular way. Which form? Triangular. That output, if I'm getting from the integrator, it is the basically this is the rectangular. not triangular in the pulse form. Here it is a triangular when we are not using any comparator or this output amplifier. Directly if we are getting the triangular output, which was form triangular. I hope you understand, my dear student. The triangular waveform we'll get where when we are using the integrator directly. Okay, and integrator we basically use capacitor. If I'm talking the integrator means I'm using the operational amplifier. So this is the block diagram. If anyone asks you how can we draw or how can we basically make a function generator block diagram, so that is a very simple. Here we have the frequency control. Frequency control. This is the frequency control network. This is the external frequency control supply, we can say. Through this we can supply, we having two constant current sources, 1 and 2. Okay, and we basically connect between these two, we connect integrator, that is op amp with capacitor, and then we having the multivibrator or comparator. Then if we give output after this and a switch, an amplifier we use, then we getting the rectangular. Directly if I connect, we are getting the triangular, which I told you before this. Before this I told you that how can we generate. So this work will take place. Now we'll get which form, the triangular. Next, if I am using resistance diode shaping circuit, then a switch, and if I use amplifier, the output will be sinusoidal, this sine. So in this we can use three waves: rectangular, triangular, sine. Sawtooth is basically combinations. Through this combination we can make sawtooth, but for these we can basically make three. For triangular we use integrator. Again we are using an integrator we use, and constant current supply we use. Both supplies we are using. Okay, one we are giving by the difference of it we give to the integrator, and capacitor we already use in the integrator. Charging discharging will give you the triangular wave. But if I am using voltage comparator multivibrator and amplifier I am using, that it gives you the rectangular. And then if I am using resistance diode shaping circuit with a switch of amplifier or with the connection of an amplifier, you'll get the sine. Just go through this block diagram. It is very easy to understand the working of function generator. It is very easy through this block diagram. Now moving forward, square wave generator. I'm using the square wave generator. In this square wave generator, as I earlier told you, this is the multi-vibrator comparator. Okay, so see, it's a figure of multi-vibrator. We are using the operational amplifier 8 pin, that is IC741. We can say the op-amp is there, that is 741. So in this 741, we having connected a resistance. This is the CRO output will show here, and these are the terminals where we are giving the voltage, positive or negative source voltage. This is the resistance R2, this is R1, this is already grounded, having a capacitor with grounded, and we are using the variable resistance as output, the feedback mechanism we can say, and this is connected to the cathode ray oscilloscope. So this is similar to its block diagram. See here, I'm using this integrator output. We are using voltage comparator or multiplier, and using output amplifier. Through this, if I get the output, I'll get the output in the square wave. In which form? Square wave form. So here it is a simple diagram to understand how it is working. How it is working, to understand how it is working. Now, see the explanation how it works basically. Now, how it works. First, the inverting terminal 2. See here. First, the inverting terminal 2. This is the inverting terminal 2 is at zero potential, and the input at the non-inverting terminal 3 has potential V1. 2 is the basically inverting terminal is at zero potential, and the input at non-inverting terminal 3 has potential V1. This occurs due to the power supply of operational amplifier. The potential difference between these two input terminals is V1 minus 0 is V1. Now see here. If I am giving V1 here, V2 here, that is the grounded, and basically it's inverting to input is 0. But here we are having the V1. So the output we are getting V1 minus 0, that is V1. Now, the positive voltage drives the output of operational. The positive voltage do what? Basically drives the output of an operational amplifier, that is op amp, into positive saturation voltage plus V set. The positive voltage drives the output of an operational amplifier or of operation amplifier into which side? Positive saturation. We also call this positive VSAT. VSAT is for the voltage saturation in a positive. Okay. Now, when the positive VSAT is feedback to the inverting terminal 2 through the resistor R, the capacitor C gets charged, and the potential of the right side plate of capacitor gradually rises, or when V2 value rises. Now, what happens after V saturation? When the VSAT is feedback to the inverting terminal 2. Now, if I'm inverting basically terminal 2, that is the number 2, this number 2, if VSAT I will giving and as a feedback the resistance I am using, what will happen? The capacitor gets charge. The capacitor which is connected here, see, the capacitor is connected here is charge, okay, get charged, and the potential of the right side of the plate, two plates are there, the right side plate gradually rises, or the V2 value rises. V2 value, what will be the happen? The value of V2 means voltage to value rises, increases, changes. Okay. Now, when V2 becomes slightly more than V1, what happens? When V2 becomes slightly more than the V1, the input becomes negative because positive is the less and negative side is more. And the immediately negative voltage drives the output of operational amplifier into negative voltage saturation. Now see, two inputs are there. One is what? See here. In this two are there. This is inverting, this is non-inverting. First case, if in non-inverting I am giving no voltage, that 0 is there. I am giving non-inverting, that is inverting, this is non-inverting. In this non-inverting I am giving 0 volt. And if I am giving 1 volt V1, then output will be V1 minus 0 differential. That it means it is in the positive side, so it will get the VSAT saturation if it is positive. Now, if VSAT is there, and if I am feedbacking it with the help of this resistance, so what will happen? The capacitor will charge, and the right hand side plate will charge. And if it is charged, what will happen? We are getting negative voltage more compared to the positive. So this case, negative V saturation will take place. Negative voltage saturation will take place. First case, the positive voltage saturation. Second case, the negative voltage saturation will take place. See here. Okay, when V2 becomes slightly more than V1, as I told you, the output becomes negative, and the immediately this negative voltage drives the output of operational amplifier, that is op amp, in the positive saturation voltage. In which saturation voltage? Positive saturation voltage, and we call this minus VSAT. Minus VSAT. Now the capacitor discharge gradually when V2 becomes less than V1. Now capacitor discharge gradually. It is charging, then discharging gradually. When V2 becomes less than V1, then we can write V1 minus V2 becomes positive, and the output drives to the VSAT. The output drives to the VSAT, positive VSAT. VSAT. The same process is repeated on output of operational amplifier swings between two saturation voltage. Positive VSAT, negative VSAT. Positive VSAT, negative VSAT. We can say positive VSAT like this, positive, negative. Then we having this thing, positive, negative, like this. So the output of E naught, or we can say the output E naught of the operational amplifier is in the form of square. See here, it is rising, discharging. To this time, again charging, after this discharge. So we'll get which type of wave? Square wave. Which type of wave I am getting? The square form wave, we can see. Okay, so we are getting the square wave. Here it is the square wave I am getting output. See here. So multivibrator or multivibrator is this one. So I'm getting what? The square in this one. I hope you understand. Now the capacitor discharge gradually when V2 becomes less than V1, then V1 minus V2 becomes positive V, and the output arrives to VSAT. The same process is repeated, and the output of the operation amplifier swings between two saturation voltages, that is between positive V saturation and negative. Positive V saturation, negative V saturation. Then again, positive V saturation, then negative saturation. So through this, what will happen? We are getting the waveform in a square wave. See here. Charging a capacitor of VSAT positive, negative VSAT. VSAT positive, negative VSAT. Okay, I hope you understand. This is the output of square wave. Now, sine wave generator. Third thing that is really important. We can generate triangular wave, we can generate square wave, we can generate sine. And sawtooth wave is basically the spatial which we want. That is spatial. Now, sine wave. Sine wave can be generated from the triangular wave using resistor diode shaping network. It is similar to that triangular wave, means we are using integrator. Basically, that time, see here. We are using this integrator, same here, but I am using what? Resistance diode shaping circuit. See here. Now, sine wave is easily generated from triangular wave using resistor diode shaping circuit. What we use? Resistor diode shaping network or circuit. Procedure is what? While diodes are reverse bias, neither shunt branch conducts and V naught will become V. If diodes are reverse biased, when the reverse bias we can say behave like a isolator, no current will flow, okay, no conducts, and V naught will always be the V. That is the output voltage. Follows the ramp. It is ramp. Okay. Suppose V1 is less than V2. V1 is less than V2 is 0.5. Is what? 0.5. Then when the input volt reaches 0.5 volt, T1 begins to conduct. Changes there. Voltage changes there. And if threshold voltage we are getting, so what will happen? Voltage D, we can say at 0.5 volt. Germanium silicon is made up of these. So threshold voltage dependent on this. So we are considering as a 0.5 volt as a threshold voltage. So D1 begins to conduct forward bias. The output voltage is given by V naught is equals to 0.5 plus V minus 0.5 upon R1 upon basically V1 minus 0.5 into R1 upon 1 plus R1, resistance of that. Okay. So, and setting V naught is equals to 0.866, and when V1 required, R1 is equals to 2.73. Similarly, set V naught is equals to 1 volt when V is equals to 1.5 volt with V2. With V2 is equals to what happened? We'll get 0.866 volt. Calculate. Note that D1 is conducting in this interval. Calculate R2 is equals to 0.042 watt. You have to make setting it. Okay. Now see here. See this, the sine wave generator we are getting. How we are getting? See here. We having the resistor, then we having the resistor diode, the shaper. This is the resistance diode shaper. We fix 2.73, we fix 0.42 ohm, we fix 2.73, 0.42 ohm. The diode are opposite to each other. In this, the diode direction is this one. Forward bias, reverse bias, reverse bias, forward bias. For positive half cycle, we are getting like this. For negative half cycle, it is opposite. So for forward, we are getting the reverse, we are getting the different. So from this, we are getting the output in the which form? Sine wave. And this is the condition, is the process. How we can do it? Shunt branches conduct and V naught is equals to V. Okay, that is V naught is equals to V. We can see like this. It is similar to that one. I hope you understand. Okay, suppose V1 is less than V2 is 0.5 volt. Then when the input voltage reaches 0.5 volt, D1 begins to conduct. The output voltage is given by this equation. V naught is equals to, that is output voltage is equals to 0.5 plus V minus 0.5 R1 upon R1 plus R1. And these are the conditions setting. We'll get this output. See, this is for positive half cycle, this is for negative half cycle. And we are getting T by 3, 2T by 3, 1 by 40 at the cycle time. Okay, so this is sine wave generator. Now, how we are getting? See here. V side like this. First is the triangular. In triangular, if I'm using the diode and resistor shaper, so it gives you the sine wave, because diode will give you the wave if you apply sine wave, then it give you the sine if it is forward bias. Otherwise, if it is reverse bias, there will be no current. So that is similar. But see, if I want to generate the triangular wave, then I have to use integrator, capacitor, charging, discharging. If I want to convert into the square wave, then I have to use multi vibrator, fixed on it, integrator, inverting, non-inverting, V saturation, positive V saturation, negative V saturation, negative V saturation, positive V saturation, and positive V saturation, negative V saturation, saturation voltage of in the positive manner, in the negative manner, we get up down V set, positive V set, negative, we get the rectangle. Then if we are using resistance diode shaper circuit, some limitations, some resistance I have to fix, conducting, non-conducting forward bias, reverse bias, then I'm getting this thing. Okay, so this I'm getting the wave, and this wave I'm getting in this form. That is a sinusoidal. It's a sine. I hope you understand. I hope you understand or not. So this is about the sine wave generators. So three wave we can easily generate with this block diagram. See, I'm repeating again this thing. It's the simple voltage diagram. Frequency function generator basic diagram. In this we can generate three waveforms very easily. Square, triangular, and sine. Sawtooth we can do with some enactment. But three are the basics. First one is for the for the square wave. It is very easily through square we can convert into rectangular as per desired. So integrator, voltage comparator, and output amplifier. Directly integrator output is give you the triangle, and if we use resistance diode shaping circuit, it gives the shape. So the output amplifier, if I am using, it directly gives you the which form? Which form? That is the sine. I hope you understand. That is the sine. Okay. So this is the square wave generator. See here. Now we get the output. I'm changing it. We are getting the output in the which form? Sine. Okay, I hope you understand. Typical specification of general purpose function generator. Produce sine, square, triangular, sawtooth, ramp, that is, and pulse output arbitrary waveform. Generators can produce waves of any shape. It is the typical specification. Any shape you want. It can generate a wide range of frequency. For example, the Tectonics FG502, which I am taking an example, that is in 1974 covers 0.1 hertz to 11 megahertz. But nowadays we are getting more than that. Frequency stability of 0.1% per hour for analog generators or 500 ppm for a digital generator. Okay, so these are the typical specifications. Now, rated some MCQs. The basic difference between square wave and pulse generator is, you can see, in function generator output voltage waveform of the integrator is, integrator I am using, output waveform of the integrator is what? Triangular. Pulse wave and square wave are the same in all aspects. False. In function generator, the output form of the integrator is triangular. We know. Okay. Now, how are the square wave output is generated open? C is there. How triangular form is derived from the square wave generator? Square wave generator is there. We can create the what? Oscillator. Output of integrator producing waveform unequal. That is triangle. Okay. Now, triangular waveform has C option. The increase in the frequency of triangular wave generator. We have already told you. Now, which of the following signals are generated by Wien Bridge oscillator? Basic triangle. So, we can understand the how basically how can we give the answers. So multiple choice are there. So this is I basically told you about this all in this lecture. So we can give the answer very easily in this manner. Okay, I hope you understand. Now moving forward. So these are some reference books through which I basically took some material to deliver this lecture to you, my dear student. That is R.S. Saini, Ellie Foster is a good book. A.K. Sani is again a very good book. We can say Bible of it, of Indian author. A.S. Morris is a very good book. So these all are available in the library and having a good content. So you can just read it. You can just go through it. Okay. So I hope you understand about this lecture. So thank you from my side. I hope you understand this about the function generator, how it works and which type of waveform it's generate. Basically, we can generate three waveforms: square, triangle, and sine. Okay, so I hope you understand. Thank you for listening, student. Thank you. Thank you.